So, first question. You competed in Survivor Bloomsburg Season 2, but were voted out the very first episode. Tell us why you applied to return as a part of Survivor Bloomsburg Season 3 this season.
I felt like a more memorable comeback, even though like nobody really knew me from Season 2. So I wanted to get to know more people that way.
In episode 1, the first activity was the island hopping, where you had 30 seconds to get into trios standing in various hula hoops. How did you feel about your trio that you formed with Taylor and Hayden? Did you all talk about creating an alliance at all?
So what had happened, it was kind of iffy with Taylor, but me and Hayden, we had been talking before the games actually, and we had stuck through the alliance through the whole way.
Episode 1, your trio lost both challenges and didn't get selected to join Gibbon or Bonobo, but instead you formed the third team of the season, Yukari. What were your thoughts about who was on the original Yukari team, and who did you see as the leader or leaders of the team that night?
I'm not really sure about leaders, but people who were on the team, it was kind of just like, yes, we didn't get picked, but also it was kind of like they were going behind each other's backs, and it was all just trying to figure out like who to trust.
In episode 2, in Immunity Challenge 1, tell us about the cube puzzle station on the quad. What worked well or didn't work well, and how did you, Bella, and Jay end up solving it to claim second place?
So what had happened was when we couldn't figure it out, I was switched out. I don't know exactly what happened. I think one of our team members were looking at other teammates. I think it was Gibbon who won. They had looked over there to see if there were any clues.
In episode 2, Yukari struggled with the ping pong cryptogram relay. How come you set out that entire challenge and didn't do any of the stations of the ping pong transfer, the water cylinder fill up, or the cryptogram?
So I wanted to. I had talked to my team about it, the cryptogram. My team told me I could just sit out if, I don't know exactly what it was, but they wanted me to sit out for it because they're like, oh, we got it, you just go sit over there.
Your team ended up taking the 5-minute penalty and lost. Do you feel you could have helped them if you competed in the challenges?
I feel like I could have, yes, and it was a bit of a struggle trying to figure out how to work with my team, not utilizing all players.
By the time you got to episode 3 at the wreck, did you have any alliances that you had created since episode 1 had filmed, and with so, with who?
There was alliances, yes. Most of our alliance actually just got voted off, all except Hayden. So it was me, Hayden, Joe, and Noah, and most of us this past episode that sadly had to leave.
In episode 3, Yukari was sent immediately to tribal council because one of its team members didn't submit their castaway videos by the deadline for the previous week. What were your thoughts about your teammates thinking it was you?
So I had showed them confirmation of the text we get of like, here, I didn't do this, and that I did it and I had submitted it, and they're just like, they all decided to vote me. Even like my alliance was in the background actually watching the videos on like who didn't do their videos, and they're like, after being voted off, they're like, hey, this actually happened, because I actually did watch the videos that were put up, and not everybody apparently does. So I felt like if that would have happened, if it would have been a different way, they would have saw it for how it was.
Did you try to convince your team that you turned everything in on time? And if you did, how did you try to convince them?
I did try to convince them. I even like showed them like the text of like, you have your videos in, and when I sent them in before the deadline, and not everybody showed their text, or like confirmation, or like, oh yeah, I did this. That's how we were showing everybody. So it was like, why?
How did you feel it was revealed in the second tribal council that it was indeed another castaway who didn't meet the deadline?
So I wasn't really there for that. I had heard about it. I was a little bit upset that my team was taking other people's words for it, because the person that didn't do their videos, they came up to everyone and said, oh yeah, Carlos came up to me on like the quad and said they didn't do their videos. And that was just kind of like upsetting for me that they didn't believe me, but what happened happened.
At Husky Island, you chose to stay and play and used your Husky Island Fast Pass. Tell us how, where, and when you found that on campus.
So I did the pre-game challenge, I think it was like the dance or whatever. I did that, and then I actually found that the week before Survivor, up behind the Bankless Center on those rocks, which height was not at my advantage. It was like on the higher one, and I was in slides. I literally like put my phone up there to see if it was up there, like took a photo, and I'm like, maybe this is what I'm looking for, and then it's like I figured out that that's what I was looking for. Even if I am short and height isn't at my advantage, I can still climb.
How did you feel that you were able to bypass the challenges and get right back into the game?
Good about it, because it gave somebody else a chance to get back in.
How did you decide what team you were going to join at the beginning of episode 4?
I actually had a talk. I talked with my alliance, because my alliance, some of the people were on 2 different teams. So we had decided through that it was the team swap, so it didn't really do much.
In episode 4, what were your thoughts about the first team swap of the season and you ending up back on the Yukari team? And what concerns did you see, or what opportunities did that create?
It was raising concerns because it was mostly the same people, and I did have the immunity from when I used the Fast Pass, but I had planned to use it strategically, and it did not work out as well as I thought it was going to.
Did you feel you were an inevitable target again, having just been at Husky Island, voted out the week prior by Yukari?
Yes, I knew I was going to be a target, and what had happened was during the challenges, one of our team members for the team didn't show up, which was due to other things, and then one team member had to go home for certain circumstances, but they had still decided to vote me off, even though we had agreed to wait to use the immunity in case we did not win the last challenge.
What were your thoughts about the creation of the 4th team called Lasula?
It was really interesting, actually. When we were starting to do team swaps, it was like confusing, but then we figured it out. It was another team, which was actually pretty interesting.
In episode 4, tell us about the first immunity challenge, safety blocks. What made that so difficult for the new Yukari to get done?
That one was a struggle because our rope kept getting loose. It was just difficult for the fact that the team could have had better communication, because like I was being told where to hold it, like across from like whoever was across from me.
In episode 4, you had a special advantage that could have saved you from the game during one of the tribal councils, but you chose to not play it both times you were in tribal. Were you that confident that you weren't going to be voted out?
So I wasn't that confident. I had a feeling the second time, but my team had made it pretty clear that, oh yeah, you're staying here with us, and then it was kind of like backstabbing.
What were your thoughts about your decision?
The first time I was pretty confident that I wasn't gonna get voted, which was good, but the second time I kind of had a feeling the way they had been acting, and that led to being here.
You chose to stay and play Husky Island. What were your thoughts when you saw it was a puzzle that needed to be done?
So I had a little bit of panic because there were some painted pieces, and then there were some pieces with letters. So it was a little bit of a panic.
Did you size up your competition that night as you faced off against Noah, Joseph, and Hayden?
No, because it was one of us going back, and we were all in an alliance together, so one of us had to go back, and the rest of us just are going to support the other person.
If you had won that challenge and earned your way back into the game, which team would you have chosen to join for episode 5? Would you go back to Yukari or try one of the new other teams and why?
With staying in Yukari, I probably would have been voted off again, and they see fit as if whoever they can vote off to keep their friends on.
What team would you have joined? Bonobo?
Bonobo. Because that was where I had an alliance with Gwen, and they were pretty good about that. Before the team swap, I thought it was going to go well, and then the team swap happened.
What did you learn about yourself by participating in Survivor Bloomsburg Season 3?
That I like talking to people. Usually I'm not one to talk to people unless I really know people, and most of the time I was good at communicating things during challenges.
Of all the remaining players, who do you see as some who could make it to the Final Four this season?
Hayden. He's been to Husky Island and back, I don't even know how many times.
What do you feel makes the Survivor Bloomsburg experience so unique and fun to do, or even watch as a spectator?
It was really interesting to see how different people can come together and compete, have fun, make friends.
If you could tell other students why they should consider applying for next year's Survivor Bloomsburg Season 4, what would you tell them?
I would tell them it's a great way to get to know people outside your friend group, and you can make more friends. It's not just about competing for money. Money's nice, but it's a way to get to know more people, even outside your major.
Do you have any final thoughts?
I mean, I might come back and watch, just wish everybody the best of